Yo yo yo, new day, new day. I do not know what the issue with my controller is. It constantly needs to be plugged in. The Bluetooth functions do not work, and I do not know why. I can connect it for like, fucking like a couple seconds. Then when after it's connected, when I try to fucking turn on the controller, because it just turns off for some reason after I connect it. When I try to turn it on again, it just fucking deletes itself from the connections to my PC. It sucks really bad, because I kind of wanna... it usually isn't a problem, it's just, it would be nice if it actually worked, and I didn't have to have a wire connected at all times. Because it is, like, a newer controller. Yeah, I know I use it every day, but I use it, like, it's not that beaten up. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the problem with this thing is. And I don't really know how to find out, other than just sitting there and Googling for 2 hours. Coming up with a solution to a problem that is not really a big problem in my life. But I guess it is big enough to the point that I can yap about it on here. Anywho, how's it hanging? How's it doing? I've been playing some Dark Souls today, and I've been really fucking enjoying it. Recently I've been kind of like, dragging myself into the fun room that is Dark Souls, just because I don't know, the areas, I like them vibes-wise, but, like, the enemies are so fucking annoying to deal with, and the areas, just, like, walking around them. For reference, this is Dark Souls 1, so, bit of a yikes in terms of how old the game is, but I've been told that Dark Souls 2 is even worse, so that's just fucking great. Maybe not in terms of that, maybe it's just in terms of the, like, long-ass boss runbacks. Maybe it's both, who really knows? But anywho, I feel like, at least, I'm beginning to reach the end game of Dark Souls 1. I just beat I barely got to, see their names before they were gone, but I just got to fucking the New Lando. New Lando sounds right. So I have found a way to beat the... I've actually done quite a lot today, actually. It's Sunday, I've just been basically doing nothing else. So, I've had plenty of time. So, basically what I've done is, last time I left off by, not really knowing how the fuck to beat Ceaseless Discharge, the big fire guy who, stands in a canyon of lava and beats you when you stand on a cliff. And, I realized pretty quickly, after looking up, for the first time in, probably my entire run, actually, looked up online how to get through this shit. Because anytime I would go, try to beat him, I would go in, his boss area is really huge. It's like, a huge, like, L-shaped cliffside, and then there's like a main platform that you're supposed to fight him on. But if you lose once, that just, fucking sucks to suck. When you go into the boss area, he just runs over to you as fast as he can run, and just kind of one-shots you. And there's nothing you can fucking do about that. If you're lucky, he doesn't one-shot you, then you can, try to attempt to just, like, dodge him, but in the end, basically, like, it is hard not to get one-shot by this guy, but that is not the main point here. The main point is I found out through this, like, walkthrough how to beat him very easily, and, it feels so goofy, because it is such a simple solution. that is not really related to the fight itself at all. I ended up cheesing the fight just because I knew how to do it, and I felt spiteful towards the guy. So I cheesed him, so instead of one-shotting me, I one-shotted him. Pretty poggers, but the main takeaway here is that I now know how to run. Yes, you heard that right. My entire Dark Souls 1 playthrough basically have been just walking, because I'm playing on keyboard and mouse, because again, I have some issues with my controller, so I don't know, one thing led to another, and I'm sitting here playing on my keyboard and mouse, and I forgot the controls, and it's an old game, and I just kinda assumed at some point that, okay, well, I guess you can't run in Dark Souls. And it's only when I go online to see this other guy's gameplay that I realize, oh, you could run all this time, and it's because, listen to this bullshit. The way you run is by holding down the space bar. The fuck? What do you mean the space bar? What is shift for, then, you may ask? Well, that is for attacking with, the heavy attack. Yikers. Also, the spacebar is already used for, like, dodging, and sure, dodging and, basically rolling and running, sure, they can share a button, but damn, I don't know. I'm still in the phase of denial where I feel like it's not my fault and it's just really bad, like, game design. To just put the fucking run button on space. So that's a big yikers. But now I am progressing way faster. I feel like might just be like, the game is getting easier compared to. I don't know, I feel like the game has gotten easier after I begin running, just because I have a better, I can better tingo the tango with my enemies here, which are, they begin to have like a bit of a huge ass range, in terms of their attacks, so both like, dodging, I could do that before, but running away from them, like luring them out one by one, it is way faster now at this point, which I really do appreciate. But after I beat Ceaseless Discharge, by cheesing him, went down to like kinda half-heartedly explore the rest of Demon Ruins, and then my fucking sword broke, so I had to go all the way back to the fucking Landon Ruins, to the blacksmith, the one locked behind the cage, and fix my shiz. And now, at this point, I don't really want to go back and deal with the slug that eats away my sword. So I go back up to the fence thing that is opened after I beat the spider lady. And that place is basically where I've spent most of the day today. It's, as much as I hated it when I was there, when I was exploring it and, wandering around it, I really like that area now. It's a cool-ass place. It's just a castle that is, like, booby-trapped to all fucking hell. Actually, there is, I just got reminded, in that castle there is the one and only Big Hat Logan, who you see, like, he gets name dropped every once in a while by just, like, random fucking info, in the loading pages, and whatnot, different items. There's, like, lore drops to this Big Hat Logan guy, and he is chilling in this castle in their, like, prison area. And I don't know, I just kind of forgot about him because it didn't feel urgent to find his key and get him out. But I guess now that I am done with, I'm not immediately doing something, I could go back and free this Logan fella, because I don't really know what his deal is, what his shtick is, but he seems nice enough. he seems like a member of the gang, so I guess I could do that. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I also have... I guess I'll finish what I have done first before talking about what I am gonna do next. So after that, the castle, basically the end of the castle, after you fucking weasel your way through booby traps and enemies and booby traps and enemies, it sends you up to the top of the castle, to the outside, where you can see like 3 different fucking giants and 1 huge golem that you can fight. I took out 1 giant guy and 1 golem guy. I kind of like one of the booby traps inside the castle is just like rolling boulders, you know, the classic like fucking Indiana Jones type rolling boulder. And when you get to the top of the castle, you see one of these giant guys just kind of, you know, going back and forth, like that's his life purpose, is to place boulders inside the fucking, like, down the hatch, towards the inside of the castle. He is the trap himself. Didn't get to deal with him though, I didn't really find a convenient way down towards him. But went up to fight the golem guy. He was like fairly easy. He just had this like weird shtick where sometimes he would grab me, and because the area we were fighting in was still like relatively small compared to him at least, I would just get like thrown over the edge because of like stupid Dark Souls fucking game design mechanics, I guess. So it was not really a, like, exciting fight, but I guess it was like a, I don't know, a weirdly canon-feeling fight, which I guess it was, so good job. So that's pretty cool, that's pretty great. After that, I get straight up just kidnapped by fucking ravens or something. I don't really know what their deal is. But I have a feeling that they are somehow recognizing me. We'll get to that later also, but they're recognizing me, the player, as like some sort of, like, I don't know, chosen one character type guy deal. I don't really know. I don't really know what the deal is yet, even though I'm getting more and more clues. So I get up to the actual fucking Landor city, where it is a fucking gorgeous view out from the top of the entire city that you get to first. It's beautiful. I love it. And you get to meet, I don't fucking know, some lady who is also a or not Firelink Shrine, but a Shrine Keeper, a Fire Keeper. Not that I specifically really know what a Fire Keeper is and like what they do in the bigger picture. But they're chilling. They're like the good guys of the, you know, they sit there and chill by all the fireplaces. Pretty cool. Speaking of, the guy at Firelink Shrine is apparently fucking gone. I'm pretty sure it is the guy who was like sitting there in the prison below Firelink Shrine, because that's basically the only guy who's gone. And who was there from the start, but he's gone. All his clothes and items and stuff are just like sitting there on the ground, and suddenly I cannot kindle the fire, you know, the fire of Firelink Shrine is gone. So what is the deal with that? I do not know, but I really want to find out. But essentially what I don't know, this is the place that feels kind of like endgame vibes, because the very first thing I do when I get to the big city, you know, is go, of course, you know, go exploring a bit, but then I find a secret, like, I don't know if it's a secret, but behind the big guard guys, there is like a huge fucking golden gate. You know how boss rooms have those like white blockades of, like, you know, I don't know, somehow like a nether portal is the best way I can explain it. and you can go inside them. This one was a golden gate that was kind of, I don't know what the exact words were, those, but somehow sealed by some lord or something that I can, realistically probably is, fucking Lord Gwyn, who I don't really know who he is, but essentially, we get to play further into the city, like, just doing stuff. It's pretty cool. We got to meet the what the fuck is his name? The fire guy, the sun guy, Solar? Is that his name? I feel like that's wrong, but close to the name. You know who I mean. Get to meet up a bit. Meet a new blacksmith also. He's pretty cool. He's like the giant guy, the mandatory giant blacksmith. And I find out that you can just like buy fucking shards from him, and I upgrade my my Zweihand to the absolute max that it can be, and I can basically like two-shot all enemies in the area, which is pretty cool. Because before my upgrade, I could 4-shot them, but now I can 2-shot them, and I can also walk around with way more, like, way buffer armor, which is really cool. I'm just like getting upgrade on top of upgrade, like, I'm finally getting rewarded for all of the bullshit I went through in, like, Blighttown and the Demon Ruins and whatnot. So that is pretty cool, that's pretty awesome, but the biggest upgrade of them all comes from after you beat the two guys. Again, the mandatory boss fight that is a big fat guy and a thin, tall guy. After you beat them, I can't really remember their names, they looked really cool, I really liked the fight, and I kinda wished I didn't beat them so easily somehow. I don't know. I kind of just rushed past the, boss run Titan guys. I don't really know what to call them. But just managed to find like a summoning sign outside the gate because I just unhollowified myself, so now I can actually summon people, summon folk. And I didn't realize that was important, but that was apparently really important because there were two mother-flippin' bosses. Again, big fat guy and lanky guy, I don't know. It feels like a really cool fucking boss fight, but again, I beat them on the second try, so like, what's the deal there? Again, after I've gotten all my fucking upgrades, so understandably enough. But the conclusion is, after you beat them, you get to meet this quoted from the game's players, a big-chested lady, who is apparently the daughter of Lord Gwyn and the Queen of Light or something like that. Something along those lines, like, bigger-than-life type deal, and she announces proudly and clearly that you, the player, are the chosen one, so, you are now on your way to succeed this Lord Gwyn guy and become, quote-unquote, the Fire. Whatever that means. I don't know, I'm getting a lot of Elden Ring vibes from this entire thing, just because I just kind of do stuff, I just kind of progress stuff, but mostly just by default, by like exploring and attacking the people who attack me, and of course listening to my homies that I find along the way. But I don't really know all the deep, intricate lore of like who is Lord Gwyn and what is his whole deal. I'm assuming he's I am assuming that I am in his castle right now, because we're fighting in a big castle. And there is, like, a whole lot of, like, this feels big, like a big fucking place. This place feels like the home of somebody who is a big deal. There are, like, fucking like huge as like the I don't even know what to call them, the fucking creatures that is very I'm describing them poorly, but they're having those as fucking guard dogs, basically big scary creatures as like guard dogs essentially. Big scary enemies, and there's a lot of like lore paintings on the walls that I don't know the references to, but also there is the head of a lot of like drakes and a huge dragon on the wall in one of the rooms. So I really like, just exploring the entire place and like, attempting to understand what is going on, trying to remember these places, because maybe I could end up seeing some of them. Obama offender. Maybe I could end up seeing them somewhere else. So that would be pretty cool. But anywho, this big-chested lady woman, daughter of Lord Gwyn, Queen of Light, whatever the flip. She ends up giving me a ring that is probably, it has some sort of cool name that is probably also pretty lore relevant, but I do not remember the name. But it basically rewards me with fucking teleportation, which is probably the biggest fucking issue I've had. It doesn't really feel like an issue in retrospect when this has been a huge fucking reward. Not only have I gotten so much stronger by being in this area and like, fighting my way up and meeting this blacksmith guy, but now I can also just teleport around the world or like warp around, so I can like go from here, from the big-chested lady, all the way back to like Firelink Shrine, all the way down to like the demon ruins. Like, I can just jump all over the place. Like, it's not every shrine, but I think it's every, like, major shrine. That's supposed to be, like, the thing. And I can also, at a moment's notice, go down to the Ashen Lake, to where the big dragon is that I yapped about, a while ago. That, of course, all of you will have remembered. I can just, like, warp down to him whenever I need to. Not that I really know what he is there for, but I can go down to him. I can just, go down and yap with him. I'm very intrigued by all the, like, different creatures there are, all the bosses, all their lores, because they don't really do a lot of talking to me. Which is a shame, because I'm really intrigued by just like finding out what is their deal and what is their relevance to each other. Also because this feels a lot smaller in scope than Elden Ring, so I have a probably way better chance of just getting a good handle on things. But yeah, as I said, I feel like I'm getting to the end game now that I have finally gotten, basically confirmation that yes, I am indeed the main character, and I am the chosen one type shit, Yeah, that was my own fault getting hit there. I was stupid. Anywho, my next step is basically just like exploring, which sounds, I don't know, sounds goofy I guess, but it is the natural next step to go. Probably explore the depths, which I think are the thing, like the caves next to Firelink Shrine. Probably, maybe, I don't know, at least there's a cave there that I need to explore, whether it is the depths or not. So that's gonna be exciting. Also have to just, continue looking in the demon ruins. Also, now that I have this huge upgrade of, getting way more powerful, and now having basically no issue going back and repairing my weapon if that slug guy who is covering, I don't know, there's just like a slug or something, whatever the fuck, covering the entire, yeah, I might have overreacted but over that guy, covering, like, a shrine that I really want to get to, but he just, like, corrodes your weapon. Your weapon is cooked if you attack him at the wrong time. He also deals a lot of fucking damage if he hits you. He's basically a pretty ass enemy to deal with, but you have to deal with him or just not go get the shrine, which of course is an option, but that feels like an ass option, especially because this area feels like it has yet another boss in it. Like, yeah, there was the what's he called? What did I call him? I called him by the right name. The big guy with the L-shaped ledge that I cheesed. Fucking hell. Can't remember his name, but he was essentially only like the starting point of this entire area and like unlocking the rest of the map. He was like a teaser, you know, figuring out like what can you do here? What is it? Probably to some extent like keep players out that are like way too weak. But of course I cheesed the guy so hard, so I don't really know if I'm at the right level to be in this area. But I hope I am. I desperately hope I am. Alright. What else can I do? I can go back to the Valley of the Drakes. Beat the huge dragon there. Hopefully get past the door or get some sort of key to the big door, because there is a big door in the Valley of Drakes that I just it's not really, it doesn't feel that relevant to get past, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it's there and I want to explore it. I am about to lose to this fucking guy. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I do need to shit pretty badly, so I won't argue too hard if this is where I die. But of course, would prefer to not die here. God damn it! One hit. Let's go. All right, I am happy now. So there's that. There was one other thing that I don't really know if I can remember actually. What's that? I have 4 things. What did I say? Oh right, the fucking New Lander Ruins, where I said the first blacksmith was. It's basically an area that is pretty ass to go through. At least it was. I don't know if it still is. But essentially you go there and just can't really interact with any fucking enemies. So that sucks. But I guess that is what it is. You have to probably use some sort of magic on them, and I don't have a magic build. I am going full on strength and endurance build. Because I am awesome and goated like that. So I don't really know what to do about that area. If it's even relevant to like fucking anything, I do not know. Also, finally I've gotten my hand on. Now it's not really that relevant anymore. But the big giant blacksmith I talked about just before, I bought a like repair kit from him, so that now when my weapons break, I can just like repair it. So that's pretty cool, but you know, it doesn't really matter at this point, other than when I am totally and completely broke. And cannot afford, unless I have to also with this kit afford repairing my weapons. I haven't actually tested that. I don't know if that is a thing. Oh well. So yeah, that is most of what I've done today and what I plan to do. Not real tomorrow. Tomorrow I gotta work. Yuck. Actually gotta go to bed in like fucking half an hour to be up early enough to not be completely slumped. I just lost fucking 3 hearts to this one guy alone. I am falling off. Oh well. It is what it is. So yeah, probably nothing tomorrow. I probably could watch. Yeah, probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow is no Dark Souls, but I'll finally watch the ending of what's it called, Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I am at the ending. I finally looked because I was I was curious how long there was left, and I literally stopped at the last, like, there are 4 episodes left, and there are 4 parts of, like, I don't know, probably fighting the Fire Lord at this point. Like, what else are you gonna do at the very fucking end of the show? There's not much you can other than that. So probably the last couple of episodes is just gonna be like a whole shitload of fighting. But I really did enjoy the last couple of episodes where, you know, Zuko was finally like a part of the gang, part of the team. Where he's like trying desperately to like just figure out how to well, that was a disappointing death. I could have done better. Oh well. Like, he's trying to make up for the fact that he has literally hunted them for years at this point. It's been pretty cool, but I don't really know what to expect. But I guess I will report back to you tomorrow on how that goes. Alright, I'll get back to it. Good night, gang.